So Softr acts as a marketplace. It allows people to go through and browse items that are aggregated from Airtable or any other database that you've chosen to connect. It really is acting as a front end for the user or the customer to see exactly what is behind the scenes on the back end of your database. So that's just kind of scrolling through a little bit, showing you what people can see. And obviously, as they click the link or they're here, they're viewing it, you can control which link that is that goes out to wherever. And the images, you can definitely add images to that. And that's what I've chosen to done or chosen to do. I've been able to take all of these databases that I have and aggregate them into one, which is WOLVOFFICIAL.com. So they've come a long way. They used to not have like Smart Suite. They didn't have HubSpot. They didn't have BigQuery, Supabase, Xamarin, Notion, Monday, SQL. Like none of this even existed. Like when I first started, I think it was just Airtable, and I think Google Sheets was having some issues. So they've come a long way, and it's pretty powerful. Like what you can do with this. There are some competitors, but I really like Softr. Handles everything. I can tell they're really serious about what they do. So this is kind of what you see when you first get into the platform. You can see that so I'll just read it. There's a few pre-built pages to your application. You can choose to just deselect them all, though this is generally how it works. You have your home, and then you have like inside of that, when people click on a specific link or a specific portion, you can have it tied into it. So like this list can be tied into the home, where like if someone was to click on something, they can go into more detail. Actually, I'm confusing that. That's list details. So when they click on something from the list, it can take them into the details. And then you can have forms, you can have sign-ups. So I've never really had that before, where I've had people sign up and and stuff like that in nature. I don't really need that. Mine's mostly public. It's not people signing in, but you can have it. You can see where they can reset their passwords and stuff like that. So pretty interesting stuff. A lot of interesting ones. Like you can see here that there's like a client portal type of thing. You could do a project tracker, employee directory. This one I thought was interesting because if you have, I know Microsoft has, what is it? It's on the tip of my tongue, but it's their internal corporate type of system for managing employees. SharePoint, that's what I'm talking about. So SharePoint is like a similar kind of thing here, but this will show all the pictures of people in your department. Just keep in mind, these are different databases that you'll be creating, if I'm saying that right. And you have a content calendar, I guess. Here's your intranet. So yeah, this could be very useful for people that are working inside of your company, keeping track of people in your company and like what they do. So, but it goes like even more into depth. You have different ones, and then just remember again, you're connecting us all to your Airtable database. So you have portals, a lot of different ones, such as like the client could log in and see only certain things, project trackers. I like marketplaces. I always thought this was cool because I was able to go in, and I always wanted to create a marketplace. Member communities. It's been a while since I've looked at these, but it seems like they're growing. Yeah, it looks like it works with just certain ones, certain like Airtable or Sheets. I have a CRM, but I don't really make that public. I don't know how I would do that like the only way I would make it public is if these were people that wanted information to be public, but sometimes I have people in my CRM that they don't need to be public. Same thing with real estate. I'm not so sure addresses should be public, because people want to know who lives there, and it just kind of brings unwanted attention. This would be interesting. You could pull in key metrics. So sometimes it does take a while to build, so you have to be thoughtful. KPIs, that would be interesting. What is an NPS? Feedback. Internal one could be useful. I could see the different application cases for this. Expenses, inventory. I did inventory for a while, but I didn't really connect it so much with Softr. Legal case management, that could be interesting. You have to remember too, like so, like a lot of these have to do with public facing stuff. So you may have an Airtable account, but it's behind the scenes, and then it's when you choose to connect it with Softr. I mean, it could still be private, but I usually choose to go public with it. But I can see the need for having an internal one as well, which is interesting. So GPT tells us that Softr IO is a no-code platform that enables users to create web apps, client portals, internet tools, and websites by connecting with Airtable or Google Sheets as a backend. And obviously, we've seen that they've incorporated way more than just Airtable and Google Sheets. It looks like they're really starting to expand. So it provides a variety of pre-built blocks and templates, making it simple to build applications without writing code. Software is also it also includes features like user authentication, payments, and dynamic content display, which are useful for businesses needing to consume solutions. And so that they have features like user authentication and payments. Although I haven't seen too much with the payments yet, but I might be missing something. It's often used for projects such as client portals, directories, membership sites, or e-commerce solutions, leveraging Airtable's flexibility to manage data. So check this out. So if you're gonna create a block, that's what it's called, is a block. You go right into here and you can click on add block. And from there you get this drop down of all of the different kinds of blocks. And guess what I found? I found the payment one where it gives you like a few different payments. So I think you have to set it up with Stripe or I don't know, it just different payment plans. And so people can check out here and I thought that was really cool. These are these are your suggested blocks. I wouldn't mind checking out this list one. Tables. This looks new, this conditional form. Yeah, these are all just slightly different. This is where people go to create an account. Yeah, you have like secure SSOs. So you have this list, but then you also have the blocks, and then I'm not too sure. The thing is, you can use whichever one you want, what you think will apply. This timeline looks pretty cool. This timeline feature. So I think this calendar is new. I noticed they want you to try it for free, and then so I think you have to pay your monthly subscription in order to get this. But the calendar would be cool. I could see that justifying paying for that. Now, charts, typically they charge for charts, and a lot of these are they're cool looking charts for sure. And I'm trying to think in my head about how I would want to present this information, probably month over month. So these are all dynamic, which means they will adapt as the new data gets presented. Versus like right here, you can see static. Statics will just stay the same. And I guess people can leave comments. That's pretty cool. That'd be kind of cool to have a frequently asked questions. I think that would be so like there's just so much with Software that you can do. I wouldn't mind. I just don't know what kind of questions people have. Some of these look really good. Mosaic view. That looks good. I think I'd put a footer in mine. I was able to. And they have a lot of really cool looking footers that you can make as well. They even have some custom code. But yeah, you're going to have to pay for that. Oh, this is a new one, this artificial intelligence. Wonder what you can do here. So, AI powered images, I guess. But yeah, that could be cool. But I like to back up mine. That would be fun. Are these free? It says try. It's saying try or try before you pay. I wouldn't mind using, I don't know. So now you can see we're in the static area. Very cool, huh? You can put your Twitter posts in here, a simple video, simple autoplay video. So you can see there's a lot of really cool things you can do with this. Did I just accidentally add this four columns feature? Like it's virtually like what I like about it is you can make a website. You literally can take your back end database and make a website. So that's what makes it really neat. So I don't know what we're gonna do with this one, but in any of those, Softr is supposed to make your life easier. It allows you to take all of your data and aggregate it in a way that automatically syncs with your front end of your database. At first glance, it can appear that there's no value in the service, but once you see how it can reflect on the front end for your customers, when you have people in the background who are taking that data and updating and doing their job or whatnot on the back end, it makes it easier for everybody to stay in the loop. So, for example, for me, I have click tracking software where I'm able to go through on the back end and update my clicks on the products that are receiving the most clicks. Then from there, on the Airtable side, it gets updated, right? Because of my physical inputs into the system. And then as the product gets updated, we can go into the front end of the website and we can see the reflection. So in this particular case, what makes it powerful is it's automatically sorted and filtered by the number of clicks as well as the number of so it's sorted by the number of clicks automatically, which is huge. So it only displays the most popular products. But not only that, it's filtered in a way on the back end so that only certain URLs are showing. So only for me, it's only certain click tracking links that are going to show, or whatever your marketing campaign is, whatever platform that you only want to showcase. So that's where it gets incredibly interesting. That's where it gets incredibly particular. It gets focused. It gets focused in a way where you can show only what you want to tell. So I want to say too that it's important, it's worth noting that I'm looking at my growth rate specifically for wolvofficial.com. And so at this time, wolvofficial.com it's backed by Softr. Softr really supports that current domain. And that's important to note because that affects the growth. It affects the growth rate, it affects the average clicks. And so I just want to say I'm looking at the data right now. I'm not sharing it with you because I have like a bunch of other data I don't really want to share that involves my strategy. But right now I'm seeing a weighted average of about 0.33. And that's just a numerical value that combines the growth and the clicks. And so right now it's very low. So Softr is or isn't doing what I need it to do. But the average growth rate right now for my website.com is about 3%. That's really low. And then on average, at any given time when I look, I can see about 1,000 clicks. I guess that Softr is contributing to it. So I think that's worth noting. It's also like if you're going to make a business decision and you want to know if Softr is the right platform for you, well, it really is going to depend on what your business is doing or trying to achieve. Because mine is more like a creator, like what I'm doing right now. So that helps out with knowing if Softr is going to be good for you. Right now, I have about 23 data points. I know it's not a lot, but it's pointing to only a 3% growth, whereas other places I'm getting huge growth. And so that's important to know. It tells you where you want to spend your time. So again, that's just my data. You want to look at your data and see if that is realistic for you as well. So I think Softr is a great platform, but some of them just outperform others. So it's all what you want to do.